me and Jake like aren't really the best of friends. But I think that honestly,
and that's
like,
because you with you and Julia Rose.
yeah, I think she's pregnant now.
Is she?
Yeah, they announced it on Impulsive, so that's
Oh wow.
crazy. Yeah, but I think honestly,
That's
like,
not your kid, right?
I don't know. I got no idea. Maybe no. I has to do a DNA test.
What is going on, Daily Dose with Patience? Welcome back to another episode. We have an electric podcast here for you today. We got my man Harry Jowsey on the podcast. Harry, what's going on?
Hey, bro. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I just got back from New York, so I'm a bit tired, but I'm here. I'm ready to roll.
You guys may know him from Netflix's Too Hot to Handle. I personally know him from TikTok. You're on my For You page a couple times. And just from other social media, got to be like top 5, top 10 in social media content creation right now. I think a lot of people could agree with me there on that. Like you said, before we hopped on here, we were talking about New York City. You were just there. Was that your first time?
Yeah, I went one time when I was 18, but I was only there for a couple of days and I was super broke, so I didn't really do anything. But this time, bro, yeah, it was like really first time like seeing all the sights, like getting out and about, like walking around. And bro, I didn't realize how fucking hot it is in New York. I thought it legit. I packed for snow. Like I thought you guys snow all the time over there.
That was one of my first questions I'm going to ask. What is my guy doing with the sweatshirt on, New York City, middle of summer in the concrete jungle?
Bro, I didn't know. I was like, I told my boys, I was like, why didn't no one prepare me for this? Like, I legitimately thought that New York was always cold and like overcast. But when the sun was shining, I was sweating, bro. I literally took my shirt off. Like, I took the sweater off. I was like, I can't do this. This is just ridiculous.
Especially in between the buildings there, the heat just gets trapped. There's no really wind tunnels that come through, and you get all that heat, the humidity. When you're in the city like that, it's not a fun place to be in the summer.
Bro, it's crazy. And there was also like the steam coming out of the ground. I was like, I don't know if is that healthy? Like, do I want to breathe that in? I don't know what's going on.
No, the air in New York City is not the healthiest. I'm not sure compared to Los Angeles, maybe pretty similar. What was your take though on New York City coming across to the East Coast? What'd you think of it?
I honestly liked it. I don't know if I could live in a city like that. It just seems like too crowded. It had so much personality. That's what I liked. There's a lot more personality compared to LA. Like there's a lot more to see, or maybe I've just been living in LA for a little bit too long, but I felt that there was a lot more to do. And yeah, but it was kind of like, I don't know, like I felt like New Yorkers like angry. Like, I don't know if they're angry or what's going on, but I was like worried that someone's going to punch me in the head.
Yeah, everyone's in their own lane, focus on what they're doing, and not many friendly people. If you're asking for directions or asking where to go, you might not get the nicest response back from the people in New York.
Yeah, legit, bro. I was worried, but I was with my boys, so we were all good.
You brought up personalities. One person we had on the podcast, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, Bree from Barstool. You know, Barstool, big sports media company that's on the East Coast. You know, you see a lot of the media centralized in Los Angeles in the West, but Barstool is a powerhouse on the East. You talk about personality. Do you think the LA vibe is you get more of a, fake friend feeling out there? What do you think of that? Bree came on. She said when she went out there, she got that feeling that, a lot of people were in it for their own personal brands, in it for how other people could benefit them, not really forming relationships. What's your take on that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that LA, I feel like everyone comes here because they have a big dream. Like it's not for any other reason. Like you're not moving to LA for the sunshine or anything like that. Like you could move to Miami and get the sunshine and
Right.
heat. You could move to New York and get fucking heat and sunshine.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in LA specifically, everyone here has like a massive dream and they don't care who's in their way to get to where they want to be. So I feel like that's where the fake feeling comes from, is people are very like selfish, but then again, I've met the most amazing people here. I've met people that genuinely want to help and they'll go out of their way to like help like in any way, shape or form. And I'm trying to be more of that type of person for my friends and like people around me and stuff like that. But I found like I feel like there's sticky people wherever you go, but LA is just like everyone's big dream and they just want to do what they can to get to the top.
Right. So you see it a little differently, and I see where you're coming from, where, people have their goals, people have their visions of, where they want to be in the future. And, when you're doing that, it takes stuff like to collab with other content creators, right? And it's not really using them if that's going to help you, build your own brand. And if you want to form a friendship out of it, I guess it depends on the person who you are. You seem like a pretty friendly guy. So you look to take those opportunities to not only form friendships, but also, capitalize on your own brand.
Yeah, for sure. I also think like it's definitely a massive part of like growing here. Is like you have to not be afraid to like shoot a DM and like want to collab with someone or like want to hang out with someone else. I just think that maybe in that aspect that people look at the city and they're just like, oh damn, people just use each other. But it's the only way to kind of keep things like moving forward is like doing a video with someone else or like trying to reach a different audience. I guess it's just the name of the game a little bit.
Absolutely. I think that's the name of game for life, networking, knowing people. You don't need to have a college degree to, make it in this media world or anywhere. If you know people, you know how to talk, you know how to communicate, you could become very successful. And, you seem pretty good in the networking community. I know you were just with Adam Weissman, who's in New York City, who's everywhere, multimillionaire, billionaire, who's got a lot of money. How do you go about forming relationships like that with people, not only within the content game, but outside?
Yeah, so Adam actually DM'd me like a couple months ago, and he said, "Hey, like I see that we've got a lot of mutual friends. Would love to connect in any way, shape, or form. Here's my number. If you need anything, reach out." And I was like, "Damn, that's really generous." So I've never seen anyone be as generous and as nice as that. So I was like, "Well, damn, like of course I would love to meet you. I would love to link up." And then we briefly hung out when we were in New York, and I saw his apartment there. It was mind blowing. It actually got me emotional. Like
Really?
the view from his apartment. Like I've never seen a view like that or being able to look at like a whole city, like as far as you can see. Like I was sitting there looking out the window. I'm like, damn, we're really like, I don't know. It just made me realize that like maybe like some little minor issues in our day-to-day life don't actually really matter. Like you look at all this stuff and there's so much beautiful things around. But yeah, I find that networking is definitely my best the best thing about me. Like I love meeting new people. I love getting out and about. Like I don't care, what business lane you're in or like if you're an influencer or anything like that. Like I love meeting new people, building up my network because you never know, in a couple of months I might be able to help them with the project. They might be able to help me, or it might just be like a good person with good vibes to be around.
100%. And you touched on that moment where you were taken back when you're looking out on the city. It also has to be a little emotional thinking about where you come from. Are you from Australia? Coming from Australia, the United States, from going on a reality TV show to now being in the position that you're at. Was that, a little bit emotional too for you, knowing how far you've come in such a short period of time at a young age?
To be honest, man, like I don't really think about it too much because I don't know. I feel like I haven't really achieved a lot. Like maybe it sounds like super big headed or whatever, but I think that for me personally, like my vision and like where I see myself being in the next 10 years is like completely drastic to where I'm at now. I think it's just kind of day one for me.
Sure.
But it is kind of crazy, like talking to my friends back home and realizing, how we grew up. Like I grew up in a town that had like 19,000 people in the surrounding area, like not even in the town, very small. And it's kind of like pinch me moments when mum will go get like a facial or she'll go to the grocery store and people like ask about me and it's kind of like hitting her a little bit as well, like how big kind of things were. But again, I don't know. I look at it like I was very blessed to be on a Netflix reality TV show. Like that was the biggest blessing. And the fact that, everyone was at home in quarantine and kind of tuned into that was also like winning the lottery for a TV show because everyone was like watching it. But yeah, I just think that I've been very blessed and very, right place, right time to be on these shows. But again, it's like day one, like getting on a reality show is, I don't think it's a major feat. Working with Netflix is huge. I'm very grateful for that. And again, like it's day one. I'm kind of just trying to keep the wheels moving, keep, redefining my lane and then just pinning the ears back and going for it.
Right. You have your sights set on some bigger things and you're looking
Yeah.
at it as just, the ball is just starting to get rolling. That's, you always got to see into the future, right? And I listened to your podcast on Impulsive about manifestation and read the book The Secret and, envisioning it and telling yourself it's going to happen and all that good stuff, speaking it into existence. When you're going on to the reality TV show, you said, you kind of mapped out how you're going to go about it, how you would, appeal to the audience. Did you see yourself, taking it to the next level? Did you look past it just being a reality TV show and seeing yourself bringing this into something even bigger?
To be honest, bro, like I was kind of like living in the moment.
Sure.
I know, like I think I know my purpose. Like I've got it pretty defined in my head, and I know why I'm put in the position that I'm here, like to entertain people, make people laugh. Like for me, that's the most fulfilling feeling, is knowing that there's someone at home that like is getting like some sort of, you know, kick or like giggle out of me, like whether it's with me or at me. I'm not really too fast. I just want people to laugh. I think when I was, you know, filming the show, I was kind of just trying to take it all in and live in the moment. Like, damn, like obviously you're on a Netflix show, so you're like, oh, it could be this big or it could be this big. And I just didn't think how big it was going to get. And then obviously once, you know, things started kicking off is when I started thinking about the next step, because I kind of just wanted to work day by day.
Yeah. And COVID was a big time for, you know, social media and just the networking on the computer and phones and stuff, because everyone was on it, right? Everything had come to a stop in the world, and a lot of people were focused on their phones and stuff. You talk about how the show, you know, got a lot of attention at that time. I read up, I don't know if this is true, you gained 1 million followers in one day.
Yeah. So I had it was the weirdest feeling. Like I woke up and I just hit 1 million followers, and then my friends like had balloons and were like celebrating. They sprayed me with champagne, and then that night, like I checked my phone again and we hit 2 million. And for me, like, oh, I think in general, like that was the craziest feeling on earth. Like I've never. It was more like it just didn't feel real. Like it wasn't. There wasn't like a moment where it was like, oh damn, this is happening. It's like, okay, I don't believe it. Like that's how it felt.
Yeah, it's something that you don't see every day. I'm sure, you know,
Yeah.
you were thrown off by that. In talking demographics here, what does your demographic audience look like? Is it mostly girls, females?
Yeah, I think it's like it's coming more dudes now, which is kind of cool, because I think mainly because of the podcast, but I think it's like 70% females and 30% guys. But then on TikTok's like 95% females,
Right.
which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think because I do the podcast and like starting to like reach more male audiences and stuff like that, it's kind of like getting me seen by more dudes, which is fun, which is awesome, because I guess like being on these reality TV shows, like you're not really respected by other men just because they think you're a bit of like a egotistical dickhead. So I get it. So it's kind of refreshing to see more guys out and like them approach me and like talk to me about shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Grow the brand. And
Yeah.
when you hit 1 million, when you get 1 million followers in one day and you're growing it, I'm sure you get some crazy DMs from females and all kinds of stuff. What's like some of the craziest ones you got? Do you go through them? Do you read all of them? Do you take the time? Do you check out the profiles? Check out if they're good looking or not? How do you go
There's
about that?
Yeah, if anyone says I don't check the DMs, they're lying. Like you are 100%. Like like whenever I'm bored, if I'm like procrastinating, I'll go and like check and like refresh and see. I actually got one last night from this guy in Africa. I think he's in Africa. He was telling me like, hey, like fly me out. I want you to make me the #1 male porn star in the world. Like make me famous. I'm like, bro, I don't know if that's. And then I don't know if that's the vibe. And then he just sent me a whole bunch of selfies. Obviously, I didn't reply to it, but I
Yeah.
get like weird, funny messages all the time, which is good. Like I appreciate it. But yeah, a lot of people like spit in my mouth. Like I want you to do this type of stuff to me. And damn it, people really like just wilding out.
Would you go through with some of those DMs, maybe not as explicit as those ones, but maybe some other good looking girls, say in college or older than college, that are not in the, you know, media spotlight world? Would you prefer a girl who's not in the, you know, spotlight?
Yeah, I honestly think that dating in this industry is like super toxic. Like it's not beneficial, because if you date someone, it's their livelihood to keep growing their brand and like keep moving forward. So I feel like that it's just a little bit ingenuine at times. But when I've replied to a couple of girls that have definitely not influencers, like, under 10,000 followers, and had a really good conversation. I just appreciate. I think it's good to like have someone that's in a completely different industry, because then you have different shit to talk about. Like it's exciting. Like I love learning about new stuff. Like I love hearing about different careers and hearing about their day being different than mine, instead of being like, oh, I just had a photo shoot today. Oh, I just had to post a brand deal. Like that's just fucking boring. Like I
Right.
want to hear about like people doing real life shit and like interesting stuff.
Sure. Yeah. It's always neat learning about something new. I try and learn something new every day. I tell myself, you know, the most powerful, weapon that we have is our brain. And the more expanded, the more successful you're going to be, the more powerful you're going to be. And,
100%.
talk in the social media world, you and Tana were, collabing a lot, or I don't know if you call it collabing, dating, talking. Tell me a little bit about that. Was that just to, spice things up on the TikTok? What's going on between you guys?
No, there's never been anything that's happened in a romantic sense. Like me and Tana are very like black and white. Like we're very transparent. Like our relationship is. So like she's had a boyfriend the whole time that we've been like best friends. Like me and her like did a video and then did really well, and then we did more, and then we kind of like played into it, and then it did more and more and more. So it was kind of just like if it's gonna work, we may as well just keep like fucking around and having a good time, because it's, people are entertained by it. Our videos are funny and we enjoy like hanging out. Like she's a really good person and I got like nothing but love. Like every time we're together, it's just like, we're just constantly laughing.
Right. And yeah, every time you guys collab on a video, it's usually pretty funny and gains millions of views. And a lot of people have a lot to say about it, good and bad, but I think it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Another thing, I actually remember too, I came across you on TikTok. I didn't watch the show, but I've heard a lot about it through my friends. But the Larsa Pippen thing, I remember seeing you with Larsa, and I'm like, dude, I'm into older women. So I was like, damn, this kid's really like that, taking out Larsa in Hollywood like that. Tell me about that experience.
I should probably text her, to be honest. I haven't seen her in a minute. Everyone, we never hooked up. Like nothing ever happened. Like we were just at dinner. There was like 6 of us. And then the next day I was like, oh, because she wanted to learn about TikTok for her kids or whatever. I don't know. But we had really good chemistry. We had a really good dinner together. And then the next day we hung out a little bit. But then shortly after that, she moved to Miami. So I didn't really get an opportunity to spend too much time with her. But I think she's back in LA now. So I probably we'll see her, because she's just funny. Like she's a good person to be around.
Right.
And she's really hot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those older women, that'll get you, those cougars. I got a candy eye for those cougars. I want to get more familiar with some Australian terms. If you could drop some knowledge on me in some Australian slang, I got a couple words that I use that I don't know if you've ever heard. I want to hear yours first. Some Australian slang I could add into my personal dictionary.
Yeah. So we say, like, instead of McDonald's, we say Macca's. I don't know
Okay.
if you know that one. And then if you like go to the bathroom, we call it the dunny. Just like,
Dunny?
yeah, I don't know, like I don't know where it's come from, but we call it the dunny. Damn, what else? Like, oh, hooroo means like see you later, goodbye. Out of whoop whoop means that you're like, it's like out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like its own language.
I was in Italy on the Amalfi Coast, and I had met a girl from Australia, and she just had a whole different, vocabulary, and it threw me off. Like vacations are called holidays right over there, and
Oh, you
some
guys
other
don't know
things.
that?
No, I didn't know that until I went over to Italy about the holidays being called vacations.
Oh yeah, we say completely different shit. Yeah, that's why I didn't know that. Oh, you guys say herbs, we say herbs, and then for you guys say Adidas, but we say Adidas.
A
Yeah.
couple other slang words we use, my friend group personally will say any ass. I don't know how this came about, but it's like if we're going out the bar, we're getting hyped up, we'll just be like, any ass goes, like you
Oh,
get
I
with
mean,
any
like
girl.
you'll fuck anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Maybe
sick.
not literally, but we just use that term, and that's one that's stuck. Or if we hook up with a girl, we'll use the word clipped. I don't know if you ever heard that
Clip?
expression before.
Nah, I'm
Clipped.
gonna know it.
Yeah, like, yeah, I clipped her last night, or that was a good clip. We'll use that
Oh,
one.
I think that's good. I like that.
And then fucked up, we'll say yachtied. Like I got yachtied last night. That's a term that we kind of just started on
Yachty?
our own. Yachtied. Like
Like,
Lil Yachty, but Tied.
damn, I haven't heard that one. Yachty?
Yeah.
Damn,
So
sick.
so those are some words you could add into your vocabulary as well if you're ever fucked up and you want to say you're yachtied, or you bring a girl home and be like, yeah, I got a good clip last night, something like that.
I'm gonna use that. That's sick. That's good.
You got the OnlyFans too. How much of your bag comes from that? Is that a big part of your network?
To be honest, yeah, it's pretty fucking big, bro. Like it's hard to yeah, to not say that that's a very, very big income stream for me. Like I have a handful of business ventures. that do pay me a fair bit. But yeah, OnlyFans is absolutely nuts. Like I think I'm the highest male earner at the minute
Wow.
on it,
Congrats.
which
That's
is
huge.
wild, bro. It's just yeah, it's just a handful. I have to get a lot more content now. I have been slacking a little bit when I was in New York.
How far do you have to go when posting content like that?
Bro, I say never. I feel like if the bag is right, like I'll drop a sex tape or I'll get my meat out. But it's kind of like I just really enjoy talking to people a little bit more. Like I mainly just get my schlong out, my undies and stuff like that. But yeah, I think there was a couple of close moments where I almost had it out. There was one video where some girls give me head, but it was like the back of her head.
What's the biggest offer you got? You probably get some crazy offers.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything too crazy yet, but I'm kind of waiting for Pornhub to be like, here's like $20 million. Like, we want a bag. We want you to fuck someone.
I know that YouTuber, people are gonna kill me for not remembering his name, but he blew up when he did, that real spiritual one and like the dark and stuff.
What?
I can't think of his name. I should know his name. It was all over the internet.
He did a spiritual sex tape.
Not like spiritual, like it was. I forget what he did. I'm drawing a blank, but I know he came out with one and it went pretty viral, and he probably got a good chunk of change from it.
Damn, I know Mini Me, the dude from Austin Powers, that little the I know he got paid like $200K to drop his.
Wow.
His bag. It's busy.
People are willing to pay. I mean, fuck it. For the right price, why not?
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
I'm sure you get asked about your body count a lot. Is it up there in the 300s, 400s, 500s? Do you keep a mark on it? Do you have the notes in your phone of everyone?
Yeah, I've got the notes, but it's definitely not that high. I feel like, I was pretty horny once I come out of a big breakup, like you're wilding out, you have this newfound attention and stuff like that. But I really slowed down. Like I've been really like a little bit more considerate of like the energy transfers, like when you're like hooking up with someone. And I kind of just feel like every time I hook up with someone that's like, a little bit draining or like wants more out of me than I want, than I can give. Like I feel like I always end up just like extremely tired. So I've just been like just cautious with like who I hook up with. Like I've been seeing this one girl for a minute now. And yeah, just kind of just like playing it by ear, to be honest. Yeah.
Does she set boundaries for you? You can and can't do this, or it's just like I'm on my own terms. We got a good thing
I do what I want. Yeah, I do what I want.
No shit can tell you what to do, right?
Nah, there's not a chance. No one's gonna stop me.
When approaching a girl, I'm sure you don't got to do much now with your status, and obviously you got the height, the looks. But if you were gonna give recommendations to our guys listening on the podcast, when approaching a girl, what do you think is the best way to go up to someone?
Yeah, I think that you don't want to be like sleazy or like creepy or with like nice hair. Like I think that, and I need to do this a little bit more as well when I approach people, is I have to understand that like you only have one, like life's way too short to give a fuck about whether you're gonna get rejected by this girl or not. Like I just think honestly, if you walk up with like confidence and you're cocking your hand, like you're ready to roll, like just sitting there with your nuts swinging, then you'll be chilling. But I don't think that you should come in hot, like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. I've never seen anyone like that. Like, bro, no one, like everyone, that's shit's fucking played. Like you want to come and like maybe point out something on them, like, oh, where did you get that handbag from? Or like, where did you get those heels from? Like, oh, I've got a sister, I want to get some for my mom. Or like, you smell, like, be like, oh, sorry, this is probably a little bit weird, but you smell amazing. Like, what's that perfume? Like a little compliment like that. And then walk straight into like, hey, like, this is my name. Like, where are you from? Nice to meet you. And then just go from there. I just think that like you want to avoid being like, oh my God, I've never seen someone so beautiful. Like you do that simpy shit later on.
Yeah.
You kind of like lock them down and get the love eyes going. But yeah.
Well, hopefully this podcast doesn't get out to everyone, so we keep those simps staying simpy, and us elite warriors can keep going. I don't know why my buddy, I don't know why he's listening to Alexander Cooper's podcast, Call Her Daddy, but he gave me a good one where she said, it's good to go up and like approach with maybe a debate, like, hey, me and my friend over there, we're talking about which bar is the best bar in New York City. He thinks it's this one, but I think it's this one. What do you think? Go on with the question and then go from there. What do you think?
That's great. Yeah, that's fuck. Bro, if Alex is saying it, you should do it 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's an amazing approach to any situation, because everyone's going to have an opinion. Like you want to kind of come in with something that like everyone's going to have an opinion on. So yeah, I think that's probably way better approach than me.
I started using that one. I saw a lot more success. I'm like, damn, this really does work. Maybe I got to start listening to Call Her Daddy and get
You
a
need
few
to
more
tap in, bro.
boring ones.
That podcast is fucking nuts. It's very insightful.
She brought you on a couple times, right? You were so electric that she's like, I got to bring him back. I got to bring up the views again.
Yeah, bro. It's just crazy. I just think that me and her bounce our energy off each other. Like when I first met her, she was like screaming like, Harry, Jowsey. And I was like, damn, it's fucking wild. And then we went straight into it and it was just full noise. Like I was very excited. So yeah, I just hope one day she breaks up with her boyfriend and just marries me.
That a boy. Yeah, that'd be fucking perfect, huh? She's a powerhouse in the, content game, especially for the girls, the women, the females. Who would you say is top 5 creators right now?
Damn, top 5 creators right now. I think honestly, I think Addison Rae, like in a different league though. Like she's doing movies, she's pushing out music. She's also like keeping on top of like social media and stuff like that. Like I feel like her work ethic is not like, you can't really compare it. Like she's very in a different realm. I think she's like gone way further than just influencer. But I think like Noah Beck and all those boys, I feel like their content is pretty like switched on. They know exactly what's going to work for their audience. They know how to grow their accounts, and they just go crazy. I'm honestly really not too sure. I think Addison's probably like the top tier. Like she's got it figured out.
Yeah, and then you got people like the Paul brothers doing the boxing and stuff like that. Did you tune into that? What's your take on, these influencers, these people, these social media people fighting, getting in the ring?
Yeah, I think the Paul brothers did it really well, to be honest. And it sucks to say because me and Jake like aren't really the best of friends. But I think that honestly,
and that's because you with you and Julia Rose.
Yeah. I think she's pregnant now.
Is she?
Yeah, they announced it on Impulsive, so that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think honestly,
that's like, not your kid, right?
I don't know. I got no idea. Maybe not. I have to do a DNA test. But I think a lot of these influencers, like it's kind of played out now. Like it's kind of like everyone's doing it, so it's kind of like not really cool. But how the Paul brothers have done it, like they're going a lot more serious. Like they're not afraid to speak their mind. Like they're too big to be stopped. Like that's the thing. And I think that they've obviously been dedicating their lives to it for a couple of years now. So they're really talented and they're really good. And a lot of people have to think like, yes, they haven't been fighting their entire lives, but they also have enough money and resources to bring the best coaches in the world, the best nutritionists, the best team around them to be able to be like unstoppable. And you have to think at that point, like they're going to learn so much more in their 4 years of doing it than, some people over their entire lives, like trying to go to a gym, hit a bag, watch YouTube videos, stuff like that. So I think that like hats off to them. They're on top of the world. They've got so much buzz around them. They're kind of unstoppable. I think it was announced that Logan Paul's fighting Anderson Silva. So I hats off to him. Like I think all the success to him.
Yeah, their moves are very calculated. They're going after the older guys who have the reputation and the world championship. So it sounds very appetizing, and it draws a lot of attention. And they're young, like you said. They put in the work. They're put in the hours. They got the young body, the young mind. So on paper, it looks amazing. People are like, I want to tune into that. I want to see what's going on. Are these guys really going to put up a fight?
That's the thing. It's like hard not to tune into. Like, yeah, it's everywhere, bro. Because it's like, who are these YouTubers? Like they started on Vine, and now they're going up against like world-class athletes. Like Tyron Woodley, yes, he is 40 and retired, but he's also a world-class fighter. Like he's Hall of Fame, and like I would never in a million years want to get in a ring with that guy. That guy's a killer. Like it's just, it wouldn't, like it's what, like, so I think that people are starting to realize now that they're actually about it. They can hold their ground, and it's pretty impressive to see like people transition how they have and continue to keep growing. Like there's no one else in their league, like whatsoever. You have to look back at the Vine stars that they started with, and they're kind of like haven't really achieved any sort of success that these guys have got.
Yeah, I agree. If there's anyone you could step into the ring with, who would it be? If you had to call someone out here, give us a little clip that we could put out there, draw some people in.
I think me and Jason Momoa would be a good fight. You know Aquaman?
Who's that?
Aquaman, Jason Momoa. I feel like me and him are the same size. I feel like that would be a good fight. Like I'm 230 pounds. He looks like he's about 250. We can meet at 220. It'd be a wrap.
And I think there's something new that's going to come about. I don't know what it is, but there's going to be something new that social media people, influencers do that's going to draw, new attention, whether that be in sports or something else. Something's
100%.
coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Wrapping up here, this has been dope, man. I appreciate you hopping on with me. I got a couple questions here. Fuck, marry, kill. Throw a couple names at you. You give me your thoughts. Tana, Julia Rose, and Addison Rae.
Oh. Shit. I think I'd marry Addison. And that's not saying anything. I just think she's very impressive. I think she's a great person all around. I'd marry her. Damn, like this sucks because Julie's so hot.
They're never easy, these questions.
Yeah, I think I'd fuck Julia again and then have to kill Tana, even though I'd love it a bit, but yeah.
I got one more for you. Corinna Kopf, Megan Fox, or Larsa Pippen.
Kill Corinna, fuck Larsa, and marry Megan Fox.
There you go. I think I'd probably do the same.
I love Transformers.
All right, my man. I appreciate you. This has been great. Is there anything else you want to touch on or put out to the people here? I'm excited to get this out.
Nah, bro. I appreciate you having me. It's a blessing, and thank you so much.
Let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man, it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words, and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard, yeah, you get what you deserve.